The forecast for film production in Louisiana is out, and the newly renewed tax credits make a difference. That's
according to Jason Wagenspack, who's president of Film Louisiana. Wagenspack reported that he met with major film production studios in Hollywood. He says producers are very happy with the legislation passed to renew tax credits for film production in the state.
We actually have a slew of independent films that are on the ground right now. We do have one in St. Francisville. There are 3 actually here in the greater New Orleans area. And Shreveport, Louisiana, with G-Unit is actually pushing some projects through to the end of 2025. 2026 actually is starting to look rather promising. We have a large feature film that's going to be coming into the Baton Rouge area in the start of January.
Film Louisiana says there are just as many streaming productions as motion pictures coming in for next year.